on, Foxy. It's your birthday. Not for real, just for play. This is Cree Summer, and Moana Nui will be right back.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Moana Nui podcast. We are here at Dreamhack Atlanta. We have another special guest that we are interviewing today. Can you introduce yourself to the audience and let them know a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. My name is Jahara Jayde. I am a content creator and professional cosplayer. I come to these events and hosting the cosplay contest Dreamhack this year. And yeah, me and my husband just do all of the work ourselves from our house. He does all the videography, photography. We've been doing it for about 3 years now.
Oh, very nice. Yeah. Okay. Yes, I'm glad you brought it up. How did you feel about being the host for the cosplay contest here at Dreamhack?
Honestly, it's an honor. The person who's running the cosplay contest, Jenny, is someone that I worked with a few years ago on hosting or co-hosting another cosplay contest. And when they needed a host for Dreamhack Dallas this year, they asked if I wanted to participate. That went really well, so I came back for Atlanta, and I just really love the cosplay community. I also love hosting. I did a lot of theater when I was a child.
Yes.
So it's exactly where I want to be.
Awesome. Now, what was your gateway into cosplay? Some people I've heard that they, because they went to a convention or they saw something online and said, I want to replicate that. What made you say cosplay? I want to dip my toe in that.
So in 2020, I started streaming on Twitch, and I was playing Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, and I wanted to give some sort of incentive for people to follow me. So I said, if we reach 300 followers in 30 days, I'll do something. What do you guys want me to do? And they were like, well, how about a cosplay? Okay. And I was like, okay, what should I cosplay? And they were like, how about Zelda from the game that we're playing right now? Okay. And we hit that goal. So I was like, okay. So I went onto Amazon and typed in Zelda cosplay. I went onto Etsy and I found elf ears for black people. People still ask me where I get those. Yeah. And I put it on and I took some pictures and I was like, hold up. This is so much fun. Like I dabbled in half costumes at conventions before, but I was like this, I just looked at myself in the mirror, had contacts and the pictures, and I was like, I'm having a blast. So I went online again and just typed in cosplay, not even a character, and just scrolled Amazon to find some reasonably priced costumes, and I bought them. And then I went to my local Black Beauty Supply, got a couple wigs, and then just kept going with it. It was just so much fun. I don't think I'd ever done anything that just felt so enjoyable at that point.
Very nice. So out of the cosplays you've done, what are your top 3 that you've done so far?
Ooh, I am gonna say that my top 3 cosplays, what's funny is it's not so much ones that I personally enjoy, but so much how they're received as well.
Okay.
But my top 3, my first one would probably be my Bo-Katan cosplay from The Mandalorian.
Yes.
That's partially one of my favorites because me and my husband built that together from scratch.
Oh wow.
So I did all of the sewing and he did all of the 3D printing armor work. We painted it and sanded it together. It took 3 months and it was a real labor of love. But I particularly love it because when I wear it, I'm a faceless character because I have the helmet on and I wear it to conventions. Children love it so much. And it's nice to just walk by a bunch of kids and they're like, Mommy, it's Bo-Katan. Mommy, look, it's Bo-Katan. And you can turn and bend down and be like, hi. And they're just the joy in their eyes. Yes. So I just really love being able to interact with people in that way. We also worked really hard to make it screen accurate according to a few organizations' rules, and because of that I can actually enter it to be part of a charity organization where you can go to hospitals and take part in parades and
very
stuff like
nice.
That. After that would be my Sailor Moon cosplay. I did Sailor Moon after doing all of the Sailor Scouts. I kind of built up to the main character, and that one also receives a lot of love because she's a very well-known character just through fandoms in general, from children to adults. She was a character from when I was a kid, and a lot of people are always really excited to see her. And she's canonically a character with white skin and blonde hair, and I wear her as obviously a black woman with curly black hair,
Yes.
but the style is still distinctive enough that nobody's confused about who I am. And then I would have to say that my third favorite one is probably the one I'm wearing now, which
Yes.
is a new one, and it's Hatsune Miku. She's a favorite of mine because a year and a half ago when we were at another Dreamhack, my daughter, who was 6 at the time, was obsessed with Hatsune Miku. She still is. And she turned and looked at me and she said, "You should cosplay her." And I've been cosplaying for as long as my daughter's been like 2 years old, so it's nothing new to her
Yes.
or really interesting because she just thinks it's normal. So that was the first time she ever suggested a character for me, so I made this cosplay for her.
Oh, that's so sweet.
And the hair's really bouncy, so it's fun.
Yes, because I was going to ask you, I'm like, do you style your own wigs?
I did style this one, so I purchased it. It's like a short unit and then 2 straight ponytail units, and I crimped it so it got really big and fluffy, and then I rod curled it piece by piece. Where you curl it and then you steam it because plastic doesn't curl. You steam it, and it took me a week to do all of this hair because it's so long.
Wow. Wow.
So, yeah.
I always tell people that, cosplay, of course it's a form of art, but it is true dedication. It is one that it is a hobby, but it becomes an intricate part of yourself because you put so much of your energy, your time, your mental at the same time, because I've heard so many stories of like people getting frustrated because it's just not coming out what I want it to be. But it's also a beautiful journey of seeing the progression as you go along. So as you've been on this journey, and especially being a Black woman as a cosplayer, a lot of cosplayers, I hear their stories of the occasional keyboard warrior or the people that, quoting Afro Cocoa Puffs, Nada isn't black. Excuse me, how have you navigated those comments and those keyboard warriors that may slide into your social media?
A couple of different ways. It depends on where my mental health is at the time. I think the most important thing I've learned over the years is to protect my peace, regardless of what that looks like to anybody else. So most of the time, I just ignore. I usually block and delete because most of the time people are wanting a reaction out of you. They want the attention from you because as far as I know, you're the only person that would have talked to them that week.
Yes.
Right? So I just block and delete and move on. Another way that I've worked through it is sometimes I will take a comment that someone has said to me and I will use it to make content and farm engagement off of it. Because if I'm going to receive the hate, then the hate might as well pay me.
Yes.
So
there you go. There you go.
I will do that as well. And some people will be like, "You're just bringing this up." And I'm like, listen, I might bring up one comment out of 100 every 6 months. Just because I'm like, today I'm going to call you out for saying this and put you in front of an audience and let people know that this is still an issue. Because I do want to educate people and let them know that some people really have this idea that like racism isn't an issue anymore.
Yes.
And that is their privilege to feel that way. So I like to let them know that this is still prevalent within the community and for just anyone, Black women especially, who just appear online.
Yes.
I've done pictures where I just was just a picture of me dressed as a fairy, not as a particular character, not as anyone knows. And I've gotten comments that are like, "This is so woke." So apparently me just existing on the internet is woke now. And then lastly, sometimes I rely on my wonderful partner. He will just, on days or weeks that I'm just really not feeling it, and because sometimes you just got to give yourself grace, and you can see 100 good comments and the one bad comment is just going to really tear you down, because it is a kind of a hard reality to realize that people can hate you for something that you can't control.
Yes, yes.
And you just don't want to face that reality on some days. So I will have my husband go through and he will just monitor my social media for me for a week, and he will block and delete comments so I just don't have to see anything at all. He'll show me ones that are nice that he thinks maybe I should reply to, but other than that, I just don't have to interact with it at all. And I recommend that anyone who is putting themselves out there on the internet find a trusted friend or a partner that during those times that they really feel like they're a little bit tenuous mentally, that they can rely on somebody else to be that bodyguard, if you will,
Yes, yes.
for them.
That is such great advice. Now, on the opposite side of that, how do you think cosplay has also helped your mental health?
Wow, so much, honestly. I have learned a lot about myself. I also find cosplay something to be a lot more fulfilling than I intended when I started my journey. And I think a lot of Black content creators can relate to this, where I started it because it was something that was interesting to me and I was just having fun. I didn't realize that, and a lot of us are kind of thrust into this light when you're a person of color, that you represent your community and you become a beacon, right? And people feel like things that you do are always a statement, that you're always trying to make a statement. And you're like, well, I'm not.
Yeah.
But inadvertently, we are, because that's how society receives us. And because of that, I received, on the other side of hatred, so many messages, both online and here in person even, where people say, I started cosplay because of you. I saw your picture, I thought you looked so beautiful, and I decided that I wanted to try. I've had, one that particularly sticks out to me is I had a mother reach out and tell me that her daughter had been coordinating like a cosplay group with her friends, and she had picked a character that she liked, but her friends had been like, oh, you can't cosplay them, like, you don't look like them, they're not Black. And she had gone back to her mom upset about that and kind of discussing that experience, and her mom had showed her my social media and all of the cosplays that I do for characters regardless of their race. And her daughter had gone back to her friends and said, that's actually not true. I can't cosplay this person. And that story really sticks with me. So
That's beautiful. And for those that are trying or on the fence on getting into their own cosplay journey, what recommendations or advice you can give them for someone who is just trying to, like, I don't know, maybe kind of feeling self-conscious or anything about trying to get into cosplay?
I think that the best thing that someone who's new to the cosplay community can do if they're feeling really nervous, one, I think because of the way social media has come about and how cosplay has really boomed in the last few years, people are under this misunderstanding that to cosplay you also have to put yourself out there on the internet, but you don't. If you're feeling self-conscious, like, cosplay is for yourself. You can buy a costume or you can make a costume if you're learning how to sew, and you can put that on and you can just wear it in your room in front of your mirror and you can just enjoy that experience. Cosplay is just expressing your love for a character, whether they be from a book, a TV show, what have you, and you can enjoy that in the privacy of your own home. At the same time, you can look up local conventions in your area. A big time for those is summer and fall, like right now, and you can go to a convention and be with other people. I think the cosplay community, like those of us that spend our money on this hobby and then spend additionally our money to go to these conventions and have community with one another, are the most upstanding, supportive group of people. And you'll go and people will see that you're dressed as something from something that they like, and they'll just tell you, you look great. I love that show. It's really just a beacon to let anybody else know what your hobbies are, and you just connect on those hobbies. And I think it's a really great place to boost your confidence and to just be surrounded by people and that sort of positivity. And then if at some point you feel excited, maybe you're getting to grab a great picture with a cosplayer you love or some of your friends, and you want to put that on your Instagram or your TikTok or whatever, you can do that. Like, I didn't start posting as with the idea to become a professional cosplayer. It was just me enjoying the pictures that I took and my experience and posting that, and then that being received well over time. So that's my advice, I would say.
Awesome, awesome. And for those that are learning about you through this interview, how can they follow you and support you on social media?
Well, I am Jahara Jayde, and that's Jayde, on almost all socials. So I am actually a live streamer on Twitch. I stream every other day on like even number days, so 24th, 26th, 28th, sort of thing. And I'm playing Kingdom Hearts 2 right now. I also am on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Threads. All of those are Jahara Jayde, and that's all mostly cosplay content and like gaming clips. And then I also have a YouTube that's Jahara Jayde Games, and that also receives all of my live streams as well as playthroughs every other day. So I'm posting almost daily on most of the socials. So yeah, any of those places, my live streams are my favorite place because you can come and speak to me live and in person, and that's usually what people enjoy the most.
Awesome, awesome. So you hear it. Make sure you go ahead and go to her social media, like, subscribe, and hit that notification button so you'll know when she goes live so you don't miss out on any of her streams. So once again, we'd like to thank you for being part of our interview and being part of Dreamhack Atlanta. And for those that are tuning in, look forward to the rest of our content here at Dreamhack Atlanta. And if you're missing out this weekend to be able to be here, definitely go to Dreamhack's website and social media to learn about their other locations, as she mentioned, in Dallas and other countries that they are having a Dreamhack convention, so you can buy your tickets and enjoy all of the things that you're seeing from this weekend. Once again, everybody, have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.
So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf. If they won't tell it, we will.
If this the land of the free, it was a freedom then, when they annexed Hawaii and called it cedar lands, without any type of payment and no signing off. Called themselves a republic in 1894. 1.2 million acres overtaken from the native Hawaiians. When they resisted, the West retaliated in violence and erasure. The Hawaiian language is banned as part of colonialism's plan to expand, yeah.
Stuck between a rock and a hard place. Multiple bombings of Kaho'olawe as a part of their ongoing war with Asia. Used it as a place for target practice. No consent or compensation. Colonizers call for annexation. No regard for all the locals. School will never let you know. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If they won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If they won't tell it, we will. We will.
So if we put Hawaii into perspective, well, Black and Asian history is interconnected. Considering the fight with the Pacific, then of course versus Asia, they was treated as a middleman for war, but didn't let the Western colorism run its course. Cause dark skin was a sign of dignity to core. The land was taken in the name of capitalism, when prior to it was an actual kingdom. Clap back at the system.
Stuck between a rock and a hard place. Multiple bombings of Kaho'olawe as a part of their ongoing war with Asia. Used it as a place for target practice. No consent or compensation. Colonizers call for annexation. No regard for all the locals. School will never let you know. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If they won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If they won't tell it, we will. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If they won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If they won't tell it, we will. We will.